You think you know World War II? Think again. The battles you've heard of, D-Day, Stalingrad, they were just the tip of the iceberg. Beneath the surface lie the forgotten battles. Fights so brutal, so decisive, that they literally changed the outcome of the war. And yet, almost no one remembers them. Today, I'm taking you deep into those untold stories. If you think history is boring, buckle up, because what you're about to hear will blow your mind.
First stop, the jungles of Northeast India, 1944. The Japanese Imperial Army was advancing toward India, hoping to cut Allied supply lines and incite rebellion against British rule. Kohima, a small, seemingly insignificant hill station, became the stage for a battle so fierce that it earned the nickname the Stalingrad of the East. Imagine this: torrential monsoon rains turning the hills into mudslides, soldiers fighting for every inch of ground, food and ammunition running dangerously low. Reinforcements often arrived too late, yet the defenders, mostly British and Indian troops, held firm. 72 grueling days of combat, 72 days of unimaginable courage and sacrifice. The victory at Kohima didn't just stop the Japanese advance, it was the turning point in Southeast Asia. And yet, few people know it happened. Next, we head to Italy, 1944. Monte Cassino, a medieval hilltop monastery turned fortress by the Germans. The Allies needed to break through the Gustav Line to reach Rome, but every assault seemed to fail. Months of brutal combat followed. Bombs tore the monastery apart. Smoke and dust blinded soldiers, yet the Germans stood their ground. Casualties mounted, morale wavered, but the fight never stopped. It was a nightmare of miscommunication, repeated attacks, and sheer human endurance. Finally, the Allies broke through. Rome was liberated, but the cost? Thousands dead, hundreds more wounded, countless untold stories of heroism. Without Monte Cassino, the Italian campaign could have dragged on indefinitely, delaying operations in France and the Eastern Front. This battle shaped the war, and yet, how many people even remember it? Now, the Eastern Front, the largest tank battle in history. Kursk, July 1943. The Germans launched Operation Citadel, hoping to encircle and destroy Soviet forces. But the Soviets anticipated them and waited. 2 million men clashed across 150 miles of battlefield. Thousands of tanks, artillery, and planes engaged in one of the most epic confrontations in human history. And the scale? It's almost impossible to imagine. Kursk wasn't just a battle of brute force. It was strategy, intelligence, and raw determination. The German defeat at Kursk marked the last major offensive they would ever launch on the Eastern Front. From that moment on, the Soviets pushed steadily toward Berlin. Yet, Kursk often remains overshadowed by Stalingrad in popular memory, a forgotten turning point. Across the Pacific, November 1943, the tiny atoll of Tarawa became the scene of another forgotten struggle. U.S. Marines faced heavily fortified Japanese positions, and the fighting was nothing short of brutal. In just 76 hours, over 1,000 Americans were killed, thousands more wounded. The close-quarters combat was relentless, yet the lessons learned at Tarawa reshaped amphibious warfare tactics for the rest of the Pacific campaign, lessons that would later prove critical at Iwo Jima and Okinawa. Tarawa was small, but its impact was enormous, and still it rarely makes it into mainstream World War II discussions. Back to Europe, September 1944. Operation Market Garden, an ambitious Allied plan to capture key bridges in the Netherlands and end the war by Christmas. Arnhem, the bridge too far. Thousands of paratroopers dropped behind enemy lines, expecting reinforcements within days. Instead, they faced entrenched German defenses, relentless counterattacks, and dwindling supplies. 9 desperate days of fighting. Many soldiers were trapped, isolated, and ultimately forced to retreat. Arnhem didn't succeed, but it taught the Allies critical lessons about airborne operations, strategy, and the dangers of overreach. The courage of these men became legendary, even in defeat.
Why do these battles matter? Because history isn't just the headlines. It's a tapestry of courage, strategy, and sacrifice. These forgotten fights shaped campaigns, tested leaders, and changed the world, often without the recognition they deserved. The soldiers who fought here didn't make the history books, but their actions echoed across continents. They changed the course of the war, and they deserve to be remembered. Don't just watch history, remember it. Hit like, subscribe, and join me as we uncover the battles history forgot. Click now before these stories vanish forever.